Hello, Odd Garrett. Hello, Serpent. Let's indulge in a fun little fantasy. Let's imagine that this is the last time that I ever start a stream by saying, "Sorry, I wasn't able to stream the last couple of days. My computer broke." It's like, really, hopefully this is the last time. It was the hard drive this time. I was afraid that I had lost all of the videos on the C drive, which were all of the streams since the last time I reinstalled Windows, which was about a month ago, because the hard drive was just like... It started while I was playing Final Fantasy. I started it up and it was acting really weird, and then I rebooted and it was still acting really weird. And I'm like, let me uninstall the display drivers, which you start doing that by rebooting into safe mode. When I rebooted, it's like attempting to repair Windows because it's broken, and I'm like, why? What's going on? It's like, I can't do anything. And I'm like, can you restore from a restore point? It's like, yes. Actually, I lied. The restore point is broken. All of the restore points are broken. Reset this PC as an option is broken. And then, like, in the, the Windows boot screen, the Windows is broken screen, it gives you the option to do a command prompt. And I'm like, okay, let me just manually copy stuff off of the hard drive so I don't lose it. And it's like, I can't copy these files. There's something wrong. So I really... Fortunately, just reinstalling Windows fixed it temporarily somehow. And I was even able, sort of... Like, I wasn't at first able to copy the files, but then later I was. There was something really wrong with the hard drive. So maybe that's what's been wrong all along. But so I removed the vile device. The M2 hard drive is out. I've got a new, just plain old SATA solid state drive that's in there now. And spend the last... How many times this year have I reinstalled Windows? It's got to be more than 20. It's so awful. Having to re-download and reinstall absolutely everything. Yes, that is... Hopefully that is a steal, Serp. Hopefully that is a steal. We're gonna play some Phoenix Wright now. Oh, and yes, Getting Over It. I saw you were talking about games. I have heard of Getting Over It with Bennett, what's his name? I probably don't want to play it. It looks very, very, very frustrating, and I'm not a precision mouse movement kind of guy. Yes, Fadi. Hopefully everything is okay with the everything. I had to reinstall OBS and I also thought that I lost the saved game from this because I just assumed that was also on the C drive somewhere that I couldn't get to it. But no, we still have our saved game. It's right here. So Turnabout Academy. Somebody's been murdered inside a school and we're going to have a class trial. And now for video games. October 24th. Okay, when the last... I just forgot. Okay, we did a flashback. There was the first case with the bomber, and then they flashed back to Apollo meeting Phoenix, meeting Athena, like 6 months or 8 months prior. I want to say that was in February or March, and now we're back to October, I think. Or we flashed farther back. It's one of those two. We'll figure it out. The killer is Hajime. He's the one who got the most votes. Oh no, I'm gonna be late. Ah yes, high school in Japanifornia. You guys have seen the thing, right? About how Silent Hill or Silent Hill 2, there's a high school in it, and they not exactly, but almost exactly modeled the high school in Kindergarten Cop. I guess because that was their only reference for, like, what an American high school looks like. So everything in Silent Hill 2, which I've never played, everything in Silent Hill 2 as you're going around the school, it looks exactly like down to the flyers that are on the walls. Looks like the school from Kindergarten Cop, except for the roof, because there are no scenes on the roof of the high school. But you need to go on the roof, and so you go on the roof and it looks like a typical Japanese high school roof, which for some reason is also standardized. Phew, finally. So this is it, the illustrious Hope's Peak Academy. This is the place where many distinguished lawyers and prosecutors got their start. We are absolutely calling it Hope's Peak Academy the entire time, because they're going... What was it called? Themis? For one thing, I don't know how to pronounce that. And second, it's funny to say things wrong. When news spread that Mr. Wright had gotten his attorney's badge back, he received a call from this school asking him to pay a visit. Mr. Wright brought us along, hoping we'd learn something from the experience. I think it's like the ultimate empath. But it's not a superpower, Serp. It's science. But no, I had to go and blow it by getting here 30 minutes late. At least it's not all business today. After all, today's their school. Ah yes, the traditional Japanifornian school festival. How many cliches can we cram into one case? Yes. Whew. Wow, this place has Bunkasai written all over it, literally. But why all the cold stares? Culpable you gotta fit in alliteration anywhere you can. Is it because everyone's in a school uniform except me? Well, I like the way I dress. Wonder where Mr. Wright and Apollo are. It's the ding-dong-dong-ding. Attention, please. This is an announcement from the mock trial committee. The mock trial will begin shortly. All students and faculty, please proceed at once to the lecture hall. Thank you. Sounds like a mock trial is about to start, but where is this lecture hall? Looks like all the students and faculty are heading that way. Might as well join them. Maybe I'll find Mr. Wright and Apollo there. So this is just a mock trial. Nobody's actually going to die in this chapter. Nobody's going to be put in jail for murder. This must be the lecture hall. Wow, they spent some serious money on this place. The district court can't even compete. Hey, Athena, over here. It's both of them. Ah, Mr. Wright, Apollo. I've been looking for you two. I'm so sorry I'm late. It's okay. Sorry we couldn't wait for you. But we didn't want to be late for our meeting. Lucky for you, the person we're supposed to meet also seems to be running late. Mr. Wright? Mr. Justice? It seems Professor Court, okay, has yet to arrive yet. Hello, statue man? Statue beard man? How unprofessional of her to keep visitors to our esteemed institution waiting like this. I shall make her right. I will not... Oh, who do we have here? His glasses are exceptionally small. Oh, right. You haven't been introduced yet. Ah, yes. You must be the young lady Mr. Wright was telling me about. I am Aristotle Means, a professor at this hallowed hall of learning. I oversee the lawyer course. You know, the lawyer course. To become a lawyer. It is a pleasure to meet you. I'm Athena Sykes. I just recently got my attorney's badge myself. His attorney's badge, in addition to being enormous, has a mouth. Has a mouth and scales for eyes. It's nice to meet you, too. How wonderful. So vigorous and vivacious. You just earned yourself a gold star. Is he what's her name from Radiant Historia? Is he gonna keep saying Maru and Batsu? Gosh. Okay, let's get that off the screen. Wow, thanks. The big smile of his is kinda scary, though. Never again. Exactly, Serp. Yes, something scales fell from his eyes. Looks like the mock trials are about to begin. What are we going to do about our meeting? Oh, speaking of the mock trial, do either of you know what it's about? Oh, but I thought we had sent a pamphlet to your office. Right, the pamphlet. Whatever happened to that? You won't be seeing it again. Trucy used it for the old rip it up and restore it trick. Unfortunately, it didn't work as advertised. Well, it seems I had better explain the situation then. Thank you, Professor. Now, does anyone have any questions? I do, Professor. Could you tell me all about your school? What an excellent question. Here's a gold star for asking. Our academy has 3 courses to choose from. Students seeking to be lawyers take the lawyer course. Likewise, budding prosecutors take the prosecutor course, and future judges the judge course, so they can get a degree in judging. That's how that works. Wow, you have everything here for someone who wants to seriously pursue a career in law. Yes, well, that's what makes our school special, and today, even more so. I have just one question. Tell me absolutely everything. After all, we are to be treated to a lecture by the legendary attorney, Phoenix Wright. We can't wait to hear all about his return to the legal profession. You're giving a lecture, Mr. Wright? But you're not even a professor. Yeah, well, I'm just giving them what they want. Did you even know you were meant to be giving a lecture here today? Yeah, sort of, but I came early because I was supposed to have a meeting with the head of the judge course, Constance Court. Why the face? It's been a whirlwind of a morning. Let's leave it at that. Professor Court. She is a wonderful instructor, but quite unpunctual. Oh, so that's who's late. From what I've heard, our esteemed Mr. Wright here is scheduled to hold a training seminar tomorrow, in addition to today's lecture. A training seminar? For lawyers? What exactly does that involve? Oh, well, we teach them how to be a lawyer in one day. Why, it involves the very skills that make a lawyer. The arm angle when shouting objection, the proper way to strike the podium, how to project one's voice, and most importantly, how to bluff your way to victory. Huh? Who exactly do you want me to teach that to teach stuff like that to again? What a wonderful question. You just earned yourself a gold star. the great honor of taking a seminar by a famous lawyer and a famous prosecutor. That is what is at stake in this mock trial, the crown jewel of the school festival. The mock trial in question is a prestigious event that every student aspires to win. The top student in the lawyer course and the top student in the prosecutor course face off in a simulated court case set in this very school. As for the case itself, we select the best script written by a judge course student and base our case on that. Beginning to doubt the value of these gold... Yeah, the inflation here is just atrocious. Ooh, a one-on-one battle. How thrilling. So if the student studying to be a lawyer wins, they get to take my training seminar? But what if the other student wins? I'm not a prosecutor, so... There's no cause for alarm. We have a famous prosecutor ready for just such a case. But exactly who it is? Well, that is a special surprise. A famous prosecutor? No, it can't be. Professor Means, forgive me for interrupting you and your guests. Who is that? Oh wait, Juniper Woods. That's the girl from the first case. Is this before or after she murdered somebody? I'm Juniper Woods, a senior in the judge course. Professor, the trial will begin shortly. Since you'll be delivering the pre-trial speech, would you mind waiting up in the balcony until we're ready for you? My, how very organized you are, Juniper. You just earned yourself a gold star, too. But what about Professor Court? Well, I suppose eventually she'll arrive. Now then, I trust you will look after our visitors, Juniper? Yes, of course, Professor Means. Juniper? Juniper Woods? Is that you? Then, Athena, I almost didn't recognize you. I didn't know you were back from Europe. Wait, you two know each other? Now that's a coincidence. Okay, so this takes place after Case 2, but before Case 1, I suppose. This is before she moved out in the woods to be a homeless person. We've known each other since we were kids. We're like best friends, right, Junie? Yes. Well, we lived close to each other, so we used to play in the forest together. Yeah, like a lot. Why won't she look at me? I guess I shouldn't be surprised, since we haven't seen each other in a long time. Anyway, we're supposed to go wait in the waiting room, right? Not that I wouldn't mind taking in the mock trial you're putting on today. Unfortunately, the mock trial is only for students and faculty. There is only one seat reserved for Mr. Wright, but no other exceptions are allowed. Yes, I'm very sorry, but that is part of the student... I'm very sorry, but it is part of the student curriculum, after all. I hope you won't mind remaining in the waiting room until the trial concludes. Trials are very fast. Oh, that's too bad. I was hoping to learn something new today. I'll tell you what, Apollo. Why don't you take my place, even though he just said that it wasn't allowed? What? Really? Sure. Besides, I'd like to meet with Professor Court as soon as she gets here. Aw, no fair. I want to see the mock trial, too. Sorry, I'm going to let Apollo pull what little rank he has, if it's okay with Professor Means. But of course, Mr. Wright, if that is what you wish. It's settled, then. We'll expect a full and detailed report, Apollo, so pay attention. Being the new kid sure stinks. If you would please follow me, I'll escort you down to the waiting room on the first floor. School festival. Still no Professor Court. It's been over 30 minutes. And Mr. Wright's snoozing away on the sofa. This is so boring. I should have hidden the lecture hall and spied on the mock trial. What was that? It sounded like a swimsuit full of gravel hitting someone in the back of the head. Athena, I could have sworn I heard something fall down and break. If you go running now, they'll think it was you. Well, it wasn't me. I think it came from somewhere outside. Oh. Well, we better go have a look, seeing as everyone else is in the lecture hall. Okay. Outdoor stage. Is this stage for some sort of concert? It kind of reminds me of a courtroom. Wait, Athena, behind the witness stand. What? Eek! Professor Court, can you hear me? Professor! Wait, that's who we were supposed to be meeting with? It looks like our meeting's been canceled. It looks like our meeting... Oh, been canceled for us. No way. This can't be real. I called the police. They should be here soon. I'll go tell everyone in the lecture hall, too. No, wait. They'll find out soon enough once the police get here. Let's do our own crime scene investigation before it gets too crowded around here. Huh? Are we even allowed to do that? It's no big deal as long as we leave it exactly like we found it. Plus, no, never mind. Anyway, we should look around while the scene's still fresh. Are they doing a thing? Is this gonna be like Truman Show? Like everyone in the school is in on it, and this is all for Athena's benefit? Like it's the whole thing, including this murder, is all pretend. Or maybe this murder is all pretend, but then there's going to be a real murder that's not. But okay, you're the boss. About the murder. Do we even know that she's dead? We haven't looked at her body yet. So Professor Court was... This is actually the 67th season of Danganronpa. Indeed, it is. All of them are mind wipe and shit, sitting in VR chairs right now. Yep, the professor I was here to meet with... Wait, sorry, we've already done that plot point. It was called Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Where the whole thing turned out to be fake. Juniper? Junko? The professor I was here to meet with. Turns out she wasn't running late after all. How awful. Here she was lying dead and we thought she was late. What was that you were saying before, boss? You never finished. Oh, that. Don't worry. I'll fill you in later. But right now, let's focus on the investigation, okay? Okay, sure. The suspense is killing me. Yeah, I think it would be too boring of a twist if it was just, okay, she's not actually dead. This is all like a fake thing for Athena's benefit. We should start by studying the body. I wonder what's the best angle for this. Pink shoes, I know who the murderer is. Ugh, I guess I really do have to examine the body. Well, I guess I'd better get used to stuff like this if I want to be a full-fledged lawyer. If I want to get my lawyer fledges. Notice anything strange about the body? Take a deep breath and then take a good look. Well, now that you mentioned it, there's no blood around it. Yet the victim's body is cold and rigor mortis has already started to dissipate. It would appear that quite some time has passed since Professor Court was murdered. Thing is, the quad was packed with students up until the start of the mock trial. Wait, then doesn't that mean she was killed at a different location? Oh, I know. The killer moved the body here while everyone was in the lecture hall. That's a definite possibility. Notice anything else? Her arms are raised over her head, and there are dark bruises around her wrists. Yeah, the professor was probably tied up with something. Eventually, her wrists were unbound, and as she reached up to stretch, she was killed? Actually, I'm not so sure about this theory. Well, there's not exactly a lot to go on. What do we have here? A book? I'm guessing it fell out of her chest pocket. Wait, what if it's her diary? That's the most private thing a girl has. True, but considering the situation at hand, my apologies to the late Professor Court. No, don't! Looks more like a planner than a diary. Every page seems to have the same sword mark printed on it at that. I still think a girl deserves her privacy, but this may help us solve the case. Court's planner added to the Truth Bowl section of your handbook. More appropriate quote than before. Ugh, there's an arrow stuck in her side. Gunshot wounds and stab wounds are pretty common, but arrow wounds? This is a homicide any way you slice it. In other words, we have a murder on our hands. Yes, that is how you say homicide in other words. Murder. A murder? Here? So that makes this arrow the murder weapon. Well, that and the bow that shot it. Right. But where could the killer have shot her from? The stage is a sea of obstructions. I'm no expert on archery, but that won't stop me from bluffing. But it can't be easy to hit a target with this much stuff around. Would it be possible to kill someone by stabbing them with an arrow? I'm not sure. Guess we better do some more investigating before jumping to conclusions. Would it be possible to kill someone by beating them over the head with an arrow? Why, yes! As long as it was made out of titanium. I think that's about all we're going to find out from the body for now. Nice work, Athena. Your face only turned 5 shades of pale. I was expecting 50. We should probably take a picture of the crime scene just in case. Okay, I'm on it. Say cheese. Wow, that's cold. Cheese. I thought I was the one with the twisted sense of humor. I think that should do it. Alright, let's take a better look around the area while we wait for the police to arrive. This piece of rubble sticks out like a sore thumb. Nakomaru, are you okay? Looks like broken pottery or plaster. Maybe this is the source of that noise we heard. There were supposedly 2 statues on this stage. I seem to recall hearing that from a co-ed I seem to recall that hearing that a co-ed from the Fine Art Club had made them. There were 2? Then that thing over there is the remains of another statue? This could be related to the case. Let's take a closer look. There's something buried in the rubble. The Hope's Peak Herald? Wait, we shouldn't disturb it. Let's just read what we can. Final act in torrid love triangle centered on campus she-devil Juniper Woods. She-devil, you say? Level-headed lawyer course genius and hot-blooded prosecutor course student will go head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the she-devil's black heart. Hugh O'Connor has declared that he will confess to her if he wins. Wait, if he declared it, isn't that the same as confessing? If you declare that you're going to conditionally confess, that's the same thing as confessing. Wait, what? I seriously wish I hadn't read that. You find that more shocking than discovering a murder victim's body? But we're talking about my friend Junie here. She'd never lead guys on like that. Athena, you don't believe everything you read, do you? This article is clearly written with malicious intent. I'm not buying a word of it. Also, you haven't seen her in 10 years. Maybe she became a she-devil in that time. Maybe it's like bankruptcy. Just saying I declare it means nothing. I guess, Serp. You sound like a Japanese expert or something. I've never heard of that. You're right, but it's still disturbing, even if it's third-rate tabloid material. Hope's Peak Herald. Add to the court section of your court book. Something else? Wonder what this was a statue of. Whatever it was reddish-purple in color. When Apollo and I first got here, both statues were already here, but they were covered up. I bet they were waiting to unveil them when the school festival moved here to this stage. You mean this duffel bag thing? Where? You mean this duffel bag looking thing was actually being used to cover the statues? I guess that just leaves the question, were they broken by accident or on purpose? What a puzzle this is. Is this a puzzle? Mr. Wright, Athena. Oh, here comes Apollo. I've never seen anyone move so fast. Listen, something big's happened. I was at the mock trial when the police announced a body had been discovered. I was at the mock trial when the police announced a body had been found on campus. That's right, and we're the ones who phoned it in. We found Professor Court dead behind the witness stand over there. What? Can you show me? Can we hold an investigation before the police get here? EverX, hi. Yep, been streaming about 30 minutes. Almost exactly 30 minutes. Somebody has already been killed, but we don't believe it. Not for a moment. What the? We've already had a quick look at the body. It's definitely a homicide. Now, why is it definitely a homicide? Couldn't she have gotten the wrist bruises just in her own free time and then was accidentally hit with an arrow? Once the police get here... No, I know it's a homicide. I'm shocked because it's the same. Exactly the same. Whoa there, Apollo. Take a deep breath and explain what you mean. It's the same. The body, that is. It's just like how it was in the mock trial. What? It's like the mock trial? I know. It sounds crazy, but... The body's location and position, the murder weapon, the lack of pooling blood. It's all exactly like the mock trial. You're kidding, right? It can't really all be the same, can it? Wait, why are we just hearing the sirens now? Wasn't he in the courtroom when the police came in? Whatever. The whole school's in an uproar. There won't be any more classes today. A murder on campus. That's the last thing I expected at a legal academy. I'll go tell Professor Means what we observed when we discovered the body. You two wait here until you've spoken with the police. Yes, boss. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe we have to wait around here. I can't stay still at times like these. I hope Junie hasn't fainted from the shock of this whole thing. Ah! Athena, there you are. Junie, am I glad to see you? I was worried that... Don't worry about me. I am student council president after all. I need to be strong. What is... Mine waifu is the Führer. She's really changed. She used to be kind of sickly and shy. She had to stick her face in a sunflower just to breathe. Juniper, was it? Mind if we ask you a few questions? And I don't know, Parody, like... Hatoful Boyfriend was great, because it was just the right amount of, like, they knew to go, or parody, and then, like, got, not serious, but there was substance to it. I feel like a lot of, I mean, let's face it, a visual novel is, while there are visuals, it all comes down to the writing, and most people are very bad writers. Especially if they are making their project through Kickstarter. It's just the truth. I guess I will still keep an eye out for it, though. Yeah, we're stuck here waiting for the police, and there's really not much to do. Sure, what would you like to know? Take that! That's your attorney's badge, isn't it? I really envy you, you know. That gold sunflower really suits you. Thanks, but I know you'll make a fabulous judge someday, Junie. Thank you, but even if I become a judge, I'll never have one of those sunflower badges. Wait, so she only envies me for the badge? I haven't seen you in ages, Junie. Are you a she-devil now? What's it been, 7 years? None in my... Yes, and I remember how you were always there for me, Athena. Maybe it's just me, but I wanted to ask why you seem so distant. Remember how you used to call me Thena? Athena-chan! I liked it better that way. It felt like we were sisters, you know? Yes, but I'm Seto Kaicho now. I'm a senator! As the student representative of Hope's Peak Academy, I have to act properly. She was never this stiff and formal before. I knew you wanted to be a judge, but I didn't expect this. It's such a prestigious school. And you're in the judge course to boot. Yes, and Professor Court had been in charge of it until, well, you know. Oh, right. Professor Court was the professor in charge of Junie's course. What sort of teacher was Professor Court? Whoops, did not mean to push. If I had to sum her up in a single word, I'd say she was amazing. A judge must always seek the truth. That was her mantra, and she used it in trying to fix what was wrong with our school. She was a beacon of hope in this dark age of the law. What's wrong with your school? What did you mean by that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. What's wrong with your school? Well, for one thing, there's metal plates bolted to all of the windows. Am I imagining things, or did I just detect something in Junie's voice? Professor Court chose my script for the mock trial. Oh? You mean all of the students in the judge course had to submit a script? And yours was the one she selected? Wow, that's amazing, Junie. Oh, thank you. But now Professor Court is... Who would do such a thing? Just yesterday, we were working together, trying to get things ready. Excuse me. Oh, she does still need a sunflower to breathe. Okay, that's reassuring. She hasn't changed after all. Are you alright, Junie? Maybe you should take it easy for a while. So she's still got that cough. Guess she's not as strong as she pretends to be. Why do you need a script in a showdown between a lawyer and a prosecutor? Well, we were simulating a trial, so we needed a script as a framework. All the details about the incident and the people involved are included in the script. We also prepared a crime scene, photos, a murder weapon, and other kinds of evidence. Wow, you guys think of everything. Must be hard getting all that ready. Yes, well, it was only Professor Court and I. After all, we didn't want the script or other elements of the mock trial to get leaked. We were the only ones in the entire school who knew all of the details. Must have been a big pain in the... I mean, that must have been really difficult. I wrote the script so that the case could go either way. That way, the defense and the prosecution both had an equal chance of winning. If you think that's all she's capable of, you've got another thing coming. Huh? Who said that? So is it the mock prosecutor or the mock lawyer? It's both of them. Is he wearing a parachute? What is this? Juniper's genius doesn't stop at her brilliant squeeze.
Yeah! She gave an award-winning performance as the defendant, man!
No, I'm not going to do that voice. Phoenix Affinity, greetings to you. I gather that you are a fan of the series. I think I found a rival to my cords of steel. Hugh, Robin, aren't you going to introduce yourselves to our guests? As student council president, I won't have you treating them rudely. As Seto Kaicho, I insist that you give shoot. Chiko Shokai. You're right. I heard Mr. Wright was bringing a couple of guests with him. That would be you two? Apollo Justice and Athena Sykes? Yep, I'm Athena Sykes. Oh, the fact Phoenix is your name is pure coincidence. As we all know, there are no coincidences in these games. And I'm Apollo Justice. Nice to meet you. I'll pass on the handshake. I'm studying to be a lawyer. The name's Hugh O'Connor. But some call me Mr. Perfect because I never score less than 100% on tests. Ugh, most pretentious introduction ever. And what's with his hand? Is it glued to the inside of his pocket or what? Yeesh.
Let me be the first to apologize for Hugh's totally rude introduction. Sorry! Now, here's my intro. I'm Robin Newman. I'm studying to be a prosecutor, like the really cool kind that nails the bad guys.
No, what are you wearing? This is even more ridiculous than somebody walking around wearing a parachute. Are you... Is it... Well, he'll explain, I'm sure.
No! Where's the sincerity?
So he makes pottery too? And what's that brace-like contraption for? Journey sure has made some unusual friends.
Serp. Looks like he doesn't have a lot on his plate.
These two were the lawyer and prosecutor in today's mock trial. And even though I wrote the script, I also played the part of the defendant. Final act in torrid love triangle centered on campus she-devil Juniper Woods. Level-headed we're already Danganronpa. We're flashing back to something that we just saw 2 minutes ago. We'll go head-to-head in a mock trial for the she-devil black card. Okay. If I could, he's gonna have too many speaking lines for me to actually do the what's the Girl Chan in Paradise voice.
I didn't know.
That's what he looks like, though. Yes, we do. If you are new to the stream, exclamation point hide at the start of your message will make it so that everyone else in the chat can still see it, but I cannot. However, please behave, of course, if you use that feature. Juniper, come on. Your role's way beyond just that.
That's right! The mock trial's just the start. She's also in the school festival's main event. Live on stage, Juniper Woods! And the crowd goes bananas, woo!
I'm supposed to sing at the school festival. All of the other girls were too embarrassed to try out, so... My Junie? Singing? On stage in front of people? Wow, she really has changed. I was responsible for making everyone's stage costumes. Oh, it's, Lemmy from the Apollo Justice thing. Complete with the glowing constellations on her robe. And this is what I'll be wearing. That's amazing, Junie, but then again, you always were good at that kind of thing. These constellations in particular are really something. Oh, thank you. One of my favorite things to do is look up at the stars in the middle of the forest. Huh, so you're a fan of the night sky then? Wow, Apollo, didn't know you were such a romantic. It's not like that. I have this friend, he and I go way back, who got me really interested in space. Wait, you had friends when you were young? Color me surprised. Wow. As student council president, I cannot allow such mean-spirited teasing to continue. Eep. I think she's angry. Stage costume added to the court record. The word flashback. Should I be clicking this? What is it? Nice. People have gotten really good at deepfakes. The costumes were no problem, but as for singing, I'm not sure I...
No! You can do it!
That's right. And anyone who says otherwise will have to answer to me. It's like a chivalrous love triangle, a damsel in distress, and two knights in shining armor. Maybe that Hope's Peak Herald article wasn't too far from the truth. Speaking of the latest news, I wonder how the mock trial turned out. So, who won? So, how did the mock trial end? We were just about to reach a verdict when the police arrived. Now, we'll never know how it would have turned out. Weren't we only gone for like half an hour? We were waiting for what's-her-name for like half an hour, and they hadn't even started yet. And by the time we found the body, which was... It really was like half an hour later. They were already like wrapping up final remarks. It was a very, very, very speedy trial. I guess that's what happens when there's a real murder during a fake murder trial. It ended right before the verdict? Talk about bad timing.
I was this close, man! I bet I would've won!
But I bet the defense wasn't doing too badly either, right? Zen and the Art of Mastering the Bar Exam. Civil law, corporate law, criminal law. See, that's the way to do it. If you're going to become a lawyer, just get one book that covers all three of those things. Civil law and corporate law and criminal law. Instead of picking up one book that teaches you each one of those laws, just have the one book. Very economic. We'll settle this some other time, and I assure you, I will win when that time comes. Yes, and this isn't even a real court. This is a mock courtroom built inside of the high school.
Like I'm gonna let that happen? I don't think so!
I hope they don't end up hurting each other. Oh, don't worry. The three of us have been good friends since we enrolled here. We even have proof of our friendship. Proof? Like physical evidence proof? Yes. We're studying for a career in law. And in the legal world, evidence is everything.
Yeah! As long as our friendship lasts, you can bet we'll be carrying them around.
Ah, the famed Hope's Peak Academy ingenuity at work. So, what exactly is this proof of friendship anyway? And can I add it to the court record? Well, it's a secret. And if I show you, it would be bad luck. Oh, okay. I knew it. There's definitely some discord in Junie's voice. Our friendship is sacred and inviolable. It's not something to be put cheaply on display.
Proof? We don't need no stinking proof. Us three are friends forever. I can hear discord in their voices too. But they're talking about their friendship. What's going on here? Something wrong, Athena? No, it's nothing. Oh, alright. Hey, isn't that... Is this... it's totally the guy. It's Barnum. Everyone, stay right where you are. Don't move a muscle. Or no... Fulbright. Wait, who's Barnum then? Am I getting names mixed up? He's Fulbright. Detective Fulbright? Is something wrong? Why, if it isn't my little lawyer friends. Sorry, but the small talk will have to wait. Juniper Woods, you're under arrest for the murder of Constance Court. I wish there was a way to take this away. I like having it. I like having easy access to view the chat log, but it's right next to where I would normally click anyway. I'm what? Wait a second. What's going on here? Why are you arresting Junie? Please, Detective Fulbright, we're involved in this case too. Aha! So you're the lawyers the dispatch said were first on the scene. I can't tell you everything, but I will say this. There are two major reasons for her arrest. Number one, the suspect led somebody to where the body was. I didn't. And number two, the crime scene is exactly how the suspect portrayed it in her script. But you can't arrest her on just those grounds. True, but there's more, even though I just said there were two reasons. However, Prosecutor Blackwell specifically told me to say no more than that. So Blackwell's the prosecute. They pick out the prosecuting attorney like while the police are on the way to the murder scene. 911, what's your emergency? Okay, we'll send the police and choose a prosecuting attorney. Detective Fulbright, we found this in the suspect's pocket. Why, there's blood on this. That's evidence we made for the mock trial. A mock trial? Never heard of such a thing, but it sounds fishy to me. Real fishy. Now, if you would, officers. Yes, sir. But... Junie, I have to do something. I can't let them take her away like this. I better... What did she do last time? Didn't she, like karate kick one of the police officers? Or she suplexed him or something? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do. It did look like a broom at first, yeah. But it's supposed to be a, I don't know, a stabby thing. An awl?
Hold it! I refuse to believe that she's the killer! Junie! I've decided. I'm going to defend you. I'll fight with everything I've got. Athena. Junie, it's good to hear you say that name again.